Hello everyone, welcome once again to Investing with the Difference. So we are back with another update on EOS and how the EOS ecosystem is doing. But before that, we have to look at the markets. And another drop happened today, and I think we are again gone down below in the market cap around $125 billion again. And what's happening is EOS is actually feeling much more heat than rest of the coins, so which is interesting. I think the FUD has not died down because the news travels slowly through the channels, I think. And Dan came out and actually clarified that he's he also made a Medium post about why he's not really leaving and he's very happy with Block 1. But I think it's overall, there's a lot of other kind of FUD. I think we can look at the block producers. We have a lot of issues going around in terms of how some of the block producers like Start EOS had started another block producer candidate on gameplay. Some of these top block producers are kind of not coming out in open. I think that's what is causing some concerns. But I think overall, what I keep mentioning, DPoS is working very well. Means yes, they are misusing some votes, but if you look at it, you need to also look at EOS New York, which came out and they showed that how they are now number 9, and they are actually have 20,000 people voting for them. And as you know that there are only 2 block producers who have more than 20,000 votes in terms of number of accounts. That is EOS Authority and EOS New York. So these block producers are examples that DPoS do work, and Greymass, I think they are actually doing a lot of great work, and they are now number 16. So these are some of the examples we should look at when we look at how good these guys are doing. While I understand that not all top 21 are kind of understood by the whole community, there are some concerns around whether they are involved in exchange voting or whale voting. But ultimately, I think all of the people who are working in the interest of EOS, we need to start looking at what is coming up, like how the ecosystem is developing. While definitely there are problems to be solved, but we are still way better off than other projects. And the reason I'm talking about that is I think there's a great videos done by Rob Finch from Cypherglass. You should watch those. I think there are a couple of videos he did about what is happening on EOS. Even Brendan Bloomer had tweeted that these are great condition for actual development to happen. So this is why I think EOS is still growing very fast in terms of usage, in terms of development happening on the platform. And I think that is most important thing to focus on. And do watch this video. It's a 4-minute video where Rob is defining what is really happening. Do read the message from Brendan Bloomer, and also there was this Ask Me Anything from Rob Finch, and he had answered a few questions around his experience from previous DPoS chains, and how EOS is different from them. So I'm kind of looking at more and more people when they see this. They say yes, the price is going down, but we are like, if you look at what happened in the start when the EOS ICO was launched, we were like 50 cents. So still, you need to understand that EOS as an ICO, EOS as a coin has done reasonably well over this 1 year, and they have a lot of money which they're pumping back, as we talked about the hackathon which is happening. So it's not like Block 1 is just running away with the money. They are actually developing. Dan keeps reminding us that there's now they have 100 people working for him in EOS IO, and 100 member strong team for EOS, with kind of leadership of Dan Larimer, with kind of structured approach which Block 1 has. I'm sure it will lead to some great things. And once we have all these things ready, I'm sure there will be when people start picking up, and when we start seeing blockchain as a overall market improving, at that time people will see the difference between something like EOS, where we are doing like 10 times more transaction than any other chain nearby. And when I say transaction, I mean the actions, as we discussed in the last video about Blocktivity and the update they did, versus any of the other platforms. And the capability of EOS, I'm sure people will realize it. Now, coming back to what else is happening. So we talked about the carbon footprint yesterday. So the good news is that the EOS Authority mentioned that now it's complete for the whole year. They have been managed to got the 562 tons of carbon footprint. They are already offset it, and now EOS can claim to be a carbon neutral blockchain, and it's the only blockchain in the world which is actually going to be uh, claiming that it is carbon neutral. Uh, Other things which are happening on the airdrop front. So Parsl has fixed some of the issues, especially around people who did not get the airdrop. All those people who did not get airdrop, even after registering or on their website, they have already delivered to them. So that's a great news. It's a pretty valuable token right now on the new DEX. And also they have reminded that they have another airdrop coming in 24 days from now. And whatever tokens you got, if you hold them, you will get proportional airdrop again in December, and this is happening every month. So, and this, if you did not receive November airdrop, if you did not register, you can still do it at parslreward.co, and that will take you to the website where you can register your email and your EOS accounts, and they will allow you to participate in this airdrop. Another news on airdrop is Higher Vibes. They have made a change. So they originally wanted you to claim your tokens, and now they are actually saying that they are going to give every EOS account airdrop that without claiming. So that means they are going to be able to pay for the RAM. I think the RAM price has come down. That is also helping them. While some people did claim it, and they are actually saying that they are going to uh, award some extra rewards for those people. And what they are saying is that they are going to claim all the unclaimed accounts, and they will not, the claim is no longer needed. So it's a good news for all the people who are not set up with Scatter, who are not able to claim these tokens. So they are now going to get these Higher Vibes. It's a great project. I think they have some good roadmap and a great team. Another project I think which airdropped already, where if you have air grabbed, it's the Infiniverse, and what they do is you can actually make a land bid in the real world. So this is the map of New York. I think it's one of the most popular place. I see that on Infiniverse. So what they are doing is the bidding is open right now. You can buy some nice spots, and those are real world spots. So if you go to the satellite view, so these are, for example, this is the Manhattan area in New York, and you can see that people have picked some spaces, and the rate is, I think, 1 square meter is 1 Infiniverse token. So if all of you who registered for the Infiniverse air grab, you must have got your airdrop, and now you can use the same token to buy this land. You don't have to spend EOS. And this is going on, and I think after the bidding is over for 1 week, which is scheduled for tomorrow, I think, and after that you will own that land. And what they plan to do is you can actually go to this place. You have to visit the place, by the way, to be able to place real things, and there's some nice things around it which you can do. And it's again it's a AR app they are building on the phones, and they're working with the Samsung. So which is a very good project, it looks like. And I did have, so what I did is I have actually bought a few land pieces. When I say I buy land, it's basically what you're doing is you are just reserving that area for yourself, and you have to go there to that place. So what I did is I have done it on of course I'm in this area in San Francisco, San Jose area. So in San Francisco I have bid a few. I'm not going to disclose that right now because that's something which I don't want you to go and chase after. But anyway, what I'm trying to show you is these are some interesting ideas being built on EOS, which is around actual augmented reality, interacting with the real world and creating real applications. And there are, as you know, that augmented reality, virtual reality are the next big things which are coming from all these big companies like Apple, Samsung, and Google. So they're building all these things, and if you put it on blockchain, it makes it takes it to the next level. So this is great, and this is great news, I think, for overall progress of EOS project. What else is happening? I think let me remind you that as a proxy, investing with a difference, if you are voting with us, do go and refresh your votes. Our proxy DK has gone up to 5%. In early days, I think we always used to be around 2 or 3%. I can understand that there is a lack of engagement now with the markets not doing that well. A lot of people are kind of disappointed. But remember, we are only strong as a project when all of us are voting and making sure that we are making an impact. And if you're complaining about all the issues around who is on the top, what's happening, as I said, There is a strength in numbers. We are seeing some of the block producers like the great block producers like EOS Authority, EOS New York, doing very well just because they have more people voting for them, even though the number of votes per voter are not that high as compared to other block producers. So we need to keep working on it. It's a continuous process. Many of the wallets have made it very easy. Greymas just now you don't even have to add the name, and you can just click the button refresh vote or refresh proxy, and it lets you refresh your proxy. So do that once in a month at least, so that the EOS DK can come down. This is important, I think. If you are voting with us, if you are voting yourself, go and re-vote, because remember that all the votes DK, and 5% voting is usually, I think, within a month or so, you get that kind of decline. So if everybody who is watching this or who is voting with us votes today or in next 2 weeks, this will significantly come down. So that's something which I would keep highlighting. So once again, I think it was a great time to focus on building stuff, focus on what is happening in EOS world and the projects which are coming up. While I agree that it's not a great time when if you are holding a big bag of EOS, and if you may consider, if you can afford to, you may consider averaging it, because I believe it's a great opportunity to buy. While I'm not a financial advisor, I do not recommend you to follow my advice about your money. So do make your decisions based on your personal situation. And finally, we are planning to, I think, again, I will go back to Rob Finch, who did Ask Me Anything on Twitter, and he then did a YouTube video on all the things which is happening in EOS world. So while I'm not able to do a lot of live shows like earlier, do send us your questions on Twitter or on YouTube, and we will be doing maybe a show where I will take up all your questions and respond. So let's do that. I think I liked the format which Rob did, and it was a great thing to do for, I think, if you have a lot of questions around it. Our goal is to keep you educated and make sure that you're making wise decisions, and are aware of what's happening in this blockchain world, especially around EOS. And this finally announcement, I think we made it on Twitter. So we are starting our developer outreach in Silicon Valley. So you are aware of our scaling blockchain conference which we did. We had some great response. A lot of people are interested now in supporting EOS in Silicon Valley, and now our goal is to bring a lot of developers, because if there is money which is willing to invest, or if there is people who are willing to come in, we need to create a community where we can create a sustainable education model, kind of incubation of dApps. And that's something which we are going to focus in, and we are starting this Blockstart initiative, and we are looking for partners. We are looking for people who can join this movement and help develop dApps, bring their own ideas. If you have any idea you want to build, do bring it to us. If you are just a developer, if you're just learning to develop, if you just know basic coding skills, if you're interested in that, do contact us. Secondly, if you are creating content in EOS space, education material, tools for development, we would be happy to integrate those into our programs and make it reach to the developers. So we will be doing a lot of that stuff. Do look out for that, and we will be hosting a lot more events for developers in near future. So that's a thing which we have taken up, and I hope that we will do our bit to expand the EOS.io ecosystem. So thank you once again for watching. Do subscribe and send us your feedback. And I just remind you that you do send us your questions if you're looking for us to answer them, and we will start collecting those and maybe do it by end of next week. We will do a Q&A session with Investing with the Difference. Thank you. Bye-bye.